I was working at McKinsey, and a lot of the brands that I thrash right now online, I was advising them in some way. They were like making 3-4 CR per year, and I am making 0 CR per year. Like, I still made a transition to India. You've made a transition into like Bharat, literally. I've received 4 to 5 legal notices from major companies. When you make a video like that, which is so controversial, no company wants to rehire you.
इसने बहुत गाली खाया है because he left first.
That, and I really appreciate what you're doing, but I'm still not 100% convinced, to be completely honest.
So I think Revant, we have been wanting to speak from a long time. Thanks to Anam and team that they weren't allowing us to speak yesterday when you were on the farm, but finally we can have a conversation. So again, welcome to the farms. It's a lovely morning. And
thank you for having me.
And I think this is the first time I'm seeing you under a tree in a podcast. So this is what I would say a farmer's setup and a farmer's studio. But how's it been yesterday?
Farmers with farmer. Yeah. No, it's been pretty amazing. Got the opportunity to meet a lot of local farmers. I was with a sugarcane farmer yesterday. It was pretty amazing. I realized my teeth is not strong enough.
You tried eating the cane. I wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah. I tried eating the cane. It was pretty difficult. But it's been fun. It's been fascinating to actually go to the farm and understand how organic farming works and things like that. It's been pretty fascinating.
Oh, cool.
But what's been your journey? I mean, from your job to being a farmer to coming to this farm.
It's been insane, to put it like mildly. So I'll give you all a background. I think you all just see me on Instagram and YouTube and things like that, and even the audience, I think they just see me making 1-minute videos. They don't know whatever's happened before that. I grew up in Calcutta. I was there till I was 18. And then I spent the last 13 years in the US and for 3 years in the UK. So totally 13 years outside of India. So it's been a long time that I've been outside India. And I did my undergrad in the US. I studied nutrition for a year.
Oh, wow.
Long ago, like almost 9-10 years ago. And then I did my MBA in the US, and post that I was working at McKinsey. I was a consultant, and a lot of the brands that I thrash right now online, I was advising them in some way.
Oh, wow.
As a consultant, you advise very major companies. So
they paid you to thrash them.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
in some ways. So so now when I was in the US, I realized कि US में packaged food और भी ज़्यादा खाते हैं इंडिया से. तो US में इतना ज़्यादा गंदगी था packaged food में, कुछ भी उठाता था, marketing गलत होता था. So I was like, if US is so bad, but I being an Indian, I would still rather solve an Indian problem. That's why I made a very, very hard call कि I will leave the US, come back to India and try to solve this issue in India.
Wow.
क्योंकि अमेरिका में, it's a developed country, I would rather solve it where I'm from. So which is what led me to leave everything, come back and things like that. There's a lot more detail, but this is the shorter version.
So what, at that time, 9-10 years back, I assume, what prompted you to take nutrition while doing finance? You know, one is such a left brain activity, one is such a passion driven. I think must have been prompted by some personal experience or something.
Yeah, I just felt कि it was not from any professional angle. It was just that I felt कि in our life, what's most important? Health. Health is very strongly determined by food. And the food we eat, I wanted to understand what am I putting into my body. Which is why I studied nutrition for 1 year to read about protein, carbohydrate, colors and various other things. कि क्या मैं खा रहा हूँ, मेरा हेल्थ उससे ही बन रहा है. खाली मेरा हेल्थ नहीं, सबका ही हेल्थ उससे बन रहा है. That's how I started. And that's why I took that 1 year thing long ago.
Yeah.
When was the first time you actually read the back of a label?
I think about 10 years ago. I used to see gym goers out there पूरा 2-3 घंटा 2-3 नहीं but 2 घंटा वर्कआउट करेंगे और वर्कआउट ख़त्म होते ही Gatorade पिएंगे. और मतलब कुछ ना कुछ पिएंगे जो पूरा आर्टिफिशियल है और बहुत चीनी भरती है ये वो। तो मुझे ये लगा कि एक जो हेल्थ कॉन्शियस बंदा है वो जिम में 2 घंटा मेहनत कर रहा है और फिर वो पूरा काइंड ऑफ नेगेट कर रहा है, वो जो वर्कआउट किया वो पूरा नेगेट कर दे रहा है एक शॉट लेके। तो मेरे को वो लगा कि बहुत मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन है। जस्ट बिकॉज गेटरेड अपने आप को प्रेजेंट कर रहा है एज अ स्पोर्ट्स ड्रिंक, तो लोग को लग रहा है चलो मैं कुछ भी स्पोर्टी करूँगा, मैं करूँगा। दैट वाज आई फील लाइक अ रियलाइजेशन कि बहुत लेबल्स इम्पॉर्टेंट हैं और ये जो चीज़ है ये जानना आप क्यों कर रहे हो कि एफर्ट वेस्टेड किया। I would rather not go to the gym and not have that drink rather than go to the gym and then waste my entire 2-3 hours का मेहनत करो, इतना एफर्ट करो और फिर वो that was I feel like a small realization, but that kept getting added every day when I saw health conscious people give their children, like in India, like Bonvita and things like that, and various other things like that, where I've seen so many examples, diabetics giving their family, like, you know, things filled with sugar and things like that. So I just reinforced my belief. I was a very, very extremely skinny kid. I'm still relatively skinny, but back then I was super, super skinny. And I used to eat all sorts of junk, but I would not put on weight. And I have superpower of eating whatever I want, but my weight would still not increase.
Wow.
And yeah, I would eat like, you know, like any regular Indian kid, like, you know, packaged food, Lays, Kurkure, anything you name, like Maggie and everything, like, you know, all the time. And then I think in the US as well, like in the college, I had a meal plan based on college. So college में जो भी दे रहे हैं वो खा रहा हूँ, मतलब तो it was just based on कि जो मिल रहा है वो खा ले रहा हूँ. And I've never been good at cooking or anything like that, so kind of, and being outside, it's too expensive out there to afford staff and things like that.
I can imagine. We were there like a couple of days back and meeting community and customers, and we were visiting malls, and I was surprised at the level of you know, how food has been adulterated out there, and there are so many ingredients that go that is not real food. So I mean, it's very surprising that such a developed country, I assume the government will be very kind of aware and very sensitive of what, you know, the companies are feeding its public.
Yeah.
But that is missing completely in the US. I think it's more, the issue is bigger out there. The food is more contaminated out there. It's put up on the labels and people have very few options because there are very few people trying to sell you food that is good. I've been to every major chain and the food is highly contaminated. You eat a bite of an energy bar, I started getting a swelling on my finger. It's so immediate and it's so, your body swells up when you're in US. There's an inflammation. Your weight goes up by 2 kgs in a week. It's not the food or fat, it's the inflammation in your body that is causing it. So I feel the food scene in US is pretty bad. There's a lot of scope for good food with you know, proven tradition and track record to be sold in the US.
Yeah. But I want to ask you guys, now I've been here for some time in your farm. I want to ask you all a little bit about your journey as well.
Ajinkya Force left his job and came to the farm, and I think 2 years into that I joined him. And I think
So you left a job first?
Correct. So both of us did our MBAs, both of us were working with banks. And
'Cause from a bank, even I've pretty much done the same thing. But it just seems like I still made a transition to India. You've made a transition into like
Bharat.
literally. This is a very, very different world.
Yeah, we were sons of farmers.
Correct.
And we were kind of educated in a city. Like you said, we were doing a job. And into the job, I think 4-5 years, we realized that the time we spent on the farm was much more interesting when we came for our holidays out here. And we enjoyed just being in the farm and in the village. And you know, we took that concept of one life to live very seriously. So we realized that, you know, there's only one life we have and we would rather spend it doing something we love. Though if there is unpredictability and there is a risk element, there is no structured career growth in that, rather than spend it in something that society wants us to do, which is very predictable. And then I think we left out there.
But isn't it a financial risk that I'm assuming the MBA के बाद जो भी whatever jobs that you all were doing was be slightly lucrative. So taking that risk of leaving everything and coming here, what was the financial call like?
So both of us, I think, had been into a job, him for a 7-8 years, me for a 2 to 3 years, and always debating, if we leave this, how do we play out that risk? So which is why I left my job first, while he still continued doing his. And the first few years, so we had no credentials in agri. When we came to farming, no degrees as BSc Agri, MSc Agri. So we took to farming afresh, and the study of all the elements in the farm is what convinced us to take that risk, irrespective of how financially it would play off.
It was challenging, no doubt, financially. It was not like we had a lot of money or we had earned a lot of money. It had been only 4-5 years that we were doing a job. And back at this end, our parents are farmers. So farming in the last 40 years has not really generated a lot of revenue for farmers. So it was not like we had a very financially sound background also.
आप जब वापस यहाँ आए into the farm, did you ever feel कि for even like at any point that I want to go back to the city life, like this is too difficult?
Did you feel that?
No, so when we came back, for the first 4 years, it was pure farming and selling it to the local mandi and local markets. So those first 4 years were challenging in terms of financially. We never received the right value for the produce, but never really thought of leaving and getting back to doing a job. I think somewhere mentally we had burned the bridges. We had decided that there would be no plan B, and out of love,
But honestly, there were instances where those experiences did make us look and think twice.
हाँ, because I'm sure बोलना आसान है, अरे I left everything and I'm now only in this, but realistically थोड़ा तो होता ही है. मेरा भी दिमाग में आया था when I left the US job and came back to India, थोड़ा तो वो feeling आता ही है.
People around us cannot comprehend that. So be it the family or our parents, was difficult for them to comprehend why are we doing what we are doing.
Support मिला family से या नहीं?
हाँ?
Support मिला?
नहीं. मतलब honestly नहीं मिला. But
अब मिल रहा है?
हाँ, अब मिल रहा है. Now they're seeing things shaping up and they're seeing validation coming from different quarters. So अब मिल रहा है. But parents were pretty kind of pissed off when we took the decision to come back, and dad was fuming because
and
he had
both children, like if it was like एक कर रहा था, एक तो कमा रहा at least.
और दोनों मतलब मिलाए जॉब अच्छे बैंक में छोड़ के वापस आ रहे हो. खेती में तो कुछ सोशल रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है, कुछ इकोनॉमिक कुछ है ही नहीं है. So they were very, very concerned. They were like, either something has gone wrong with you all, and the world is moving from the village to the city and you want to come back. So actually इसने बहुत गाली खाया है because he left first. If I did a safe landing, when all the forced uncut.
Who's the elder brother?
Oh, that's
like who do you think?
I mean, because of your beard, you look slightly older, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm the younger one.
Okay. So I do the same thing.
I'm the elder one.
Oh, yeah?
You do the same?
No, my brother, I also have an elder brother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I always let him make the mistakes first, get abused. And then when I do it, it's an expectation ki ab to they're used to it, the parents. So it becomes easier.
In our case, it was the other way around. He went, the younger one went.
So the first few nights when I came back, every night was like, dad had his own set of vocabularies.
Which we had never heard before.
And the desi way.
Can we hear something?
I mean, it'll be all beat everywhere. Like,
the best part about parents abusing is that they can't say like, parents को गाली ना, usually होता है. लोग अपने आप को हो जाएगा.
And what did your parents say, man?
No, parents have always been like, ये पूरा पागल है.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we saw that avatar, and that was some time.
But what was for me personally, when I moved from US to India, and for the first 1 year, more than a year, I did not make any money, zero money. And I was making, not to brag or anything, I was making quite a lot of money in the US.
I can imagine McKinsey and MBA.
So my one thing which used to happen was there was a complex which I was had like little with friends also कि आप LinkedIn में देखते हो कि आपके वही सेम McKinsey फ्रेंड प्रमोट होके मैनेजर बन गए हैं या प्रमोट होके एसोसिएट पार्टनर बन गए हैं एंड आपको पता है कि सैलरी उनको कितना जंप हुआ है. Literally I'm like stating figures because my friend's salary is not mine. They were like making 3-4 CR per year.
Wow.
And I am making 0 CR per year, 0 rupees per year. So, and you know that if you were in the US, you could have made something similar. So that complex or that feeling कि you are pinching money and when you know कि small things कि आपको phone भी खरीदना है तो आप 4 बार सोच रहे हो phone खरीदने के पहले चाहे जितना ही आप cool बोलो कि नहीं नहीं everything was fine. तो आप लोग को लगा था कि जब आप वापस आए कि आप देख रहे हो अपने फ्रेंड्स और जो कलीग्स हैं आपके वहाँ पर हो सकता है आपके जूनियर एम्प्लॉयज आप सीनियर बन गए वैसा कुछ फीलिंग आया था
back at home with dad being angry and then with friends not being much in touch. But when I used to come to the farms out here, and then again that that question and the curiosity about farming, organic, what crops to take, that was so interesting that for some time when we were out here, I mean, in that day when we were out here, it kind of kept us away from all those thoughts.
लगता तो था. I though felt it like crazy. It was difficult, no doubt. And yeah, I mean, when did you leave? How many years back?
It's very recent. Till last year I was in the US. So I actually
You must be going through it now, the grind yet.
हाँ हाँ वही चल रहा है अभी भी तो last year March 2023 actually for me it was very quick. March 2023 I left the US. In fact I was still at my notice period at McKinsey because 2 महीने का notice period मिलता है while I made the Bonvita video. So when I made that Bonvita video which like blew up, I was still officially employed by McKinsey in the US.
Oh.
So it was pretty crazy. Everything happened very quick. And US में भी जो मेरे एम्प्लॉय जो मतलब कलीग लोग थे उन लोगों को लगा ये कर क्या रहा है सडनली कंसल्टेंट था सर अगला दिन ये
चिल्ला रहा है
फूड फार्मर बन गया ये है क्या व्हाट इज फूड फार्मर एंड लाइक दे ऑल वेरी कंफ्यूज्ड कि व्हाट इज हैपनिंग विद दिस गाय and all over LinkedIn everything is getting blown up this that so it is a very very crazy time. And what people don't know is within 2 to 3 weeks of me coming back from the US I had suddenly become the face of food safety in India within
Wow.
2 weeks. 2 weeks ago no one knows me. 2 weeks later I am essentially the unofficial face of food safety. I have received 4 to 5 legal notices from major companies. When I quit my job or when I left my job in the US, it was not just leaving a job. It was a decision that I will never do a job again. It was not just leaving that job because when you make a video like that, which is so controversial, no company wants to rehire you because they are afraid no big company wants to get the headache of a guy who fights against companies.
Yeah.
Especially now, touchwood, things are slightly better. Or like in terms of people accept what I'm doing and they understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. But at that time, Bonvita said कि मेरा वीडियो साइंटिफिक नहीं है. तो आप मेरा गूगल करो नाम रेवंत हिम्मत सिंह का गूगल करो. The first article that was coming up was this guy receives a legal notice and his video is not scientific.
Oh wow, so who put this up? Google?
Like media articles
Okay.
Because that time that was the news. So my point is, hypothetically if I'm going for an interview, background check में आ जाता ना कि ये video scientific नहीं है ये company का लड़ रहा है. So I would have no credibility. So it is a very very risky.
But you did this video when you were in the US or when you
No, I came back to India and then I did it.
And within 3 weeks all this started off.
Yeah, within.
So what prompted you to do this video? Suddenly you got up and you saw Bonvita and you said, "Nahi, isko aaj main."
So I think it was 10 years in the making. The action happened within 1 or 2 weeks, but it was 10 years
It
in
was
the making.
boiling in your head, kind of. brewing in
हाँ
your
like
head.
कि not actively boiling but थोड़ा सा back of my mind. So 10 साल पहले भी मैंने एक किताब लिखा था Selfienomics बोल के. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not aware of this.
Yeah, I've written a book called Selfienomics. Most people become influencers, then they become authors. I was an author first. Now I don't like to call myself influencer, but kind of. So so I wrote a book called Selfienomics 10 years ago. Usme bhi I had a chapter on nutrition and on food labels, and I spoke about how learning about nutrition and nutrition labels is the most important skill in the 21st century. Like आप 21st century में लोग को पूछो कि सबसे important skill क्या है, बहुत लोग बोलते हैं कोडिंग, कि बच्चे को कोडिंग सिखाओ, सबसे important skill 21st century में कोडिंग है. मेरे हिसाब से कोडिंग सबसे important नहीं है, मेरे हिसाब से न्यूट्रिशन, जो हम खाना खाते हैं वो क्या खा रहे हैं वो सबसे important है. तो वो मैंने लिटरली 10 साल पहले अपनी किताब में भी लिखा था. बट टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, it was just like I wanted to do something in the social impact space, and I realized that food is very screwed up, and I was in the US and I saw how food is screwed up in the US. But instead of solving the US screwed up food, I would rather solve the Indian screwed up food.
But you ever imagine that मैं एक वीडियो बनाऊंगा वो इतना वायरल हो जाएगा?
नहीं, you cannot plan all of this. It is
So you just अपना घर के लिए वीडियो बना दिया, डाल दिया. You said whoever views it.
Education sake.
हाँ, education sake. The idea was कि I will not just make videos, because videos में कितने ही लोग देखेंगे, मतलब it was not exactly that. It was कि I will do something in the health literacy space. So I will like either start a health school, which I've recently started also now, finally.
Wow.
But I will, like, in some way or form try to get education and try to get health in the education curriculum. That was the idea. अब वो वीडियो वायरल हो जाएगा और फिर वो बन जाएगा, वो सब तो एक बस हो गया. Like you can imagine, like, I've left my job, I've left like half my family in the US, I've come to India, and not only am I not making money, I'm also fighting legal battles with biggest companies, and I'm undeterred in the sense कि मैं in spite of, like, मेरे को literally last week legal notice मिला, मैं आज वापस वीडियो बना रहा हूँ और मैं ब्रांड का नाम दिखा रहा हूँ. कोई एक भी वीडियो में मैं ब्लर नहीं करता हूँ. The brand name will always be there. There will be no blurring of logos, nothing. Complete.
What gives you that daring to do it, man? I mean, कोई backing है तेरे पीछे?
Well,
Corporates giving you a legal notice. You're an individual out here.
so my last name, I'm not trying to brag or anything. My last name is Himmat Singh, which means courage of a lion. Like Himmat is courage, Singh means lion. So, and Ka is the Hindi word Ka, like the conjunction. So I mean,
Lived up to your name.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But anyway, I just think that it's a risk reward ratio. The risk is there are a lot of risks involved, like from both legal, financial, personal, and even to some extent life risk. But the reward is pretty high as well, like, in the sense that you get a lot of public support, love, and the affection and the feeling that you are able to potentially change millions of lives. Because I have literally already been told by so many people that because of you, I changed my eating habits and I have become eating much healthier. And like, if you do that to thousands of people or of millions of people, that's a very big reward. So that is, I feel like, it's the risk reward ratio. You understand that yes, there are issues, there are challenges, but the rewards are greater than the risk.
But then, I mean, fighting these giants and having all these personal challenges, I can only imagine. I think we were in the market when the first time we were selling our papayas. We were in the conventional market, जो मंडी बोलते हैं, and we tried selling papayas out there, and we faced that resistance from those traders, and that itself was unnerving. These are not branded traders, but they are guys who sell chemical, and we were trying to sell organic, and that resistance itself was very unnerving. So
no, I mean, every level there is, like, I'm sure that must be also very difficult.
Yeah, it was difficult. But that also prompted us that the moment he said, that your produce won't get even half the rate like a chemical produce because it looks ugly from the outside, that hit our self-esteem so hard that we got out from that market and we said, we won't sell out here. Come what may, we won't sell out here. And then we started selling with handcart vendors and then went to a mall and then farmers markets. But that prompted us. If he had accepted our stuff, we would have just been doing farming and selling it to the mandis.
And at what time did you all feel कि नहीं, अब local market में नहीं, अब मेरे को एक्सपैंड करके सिटीज़ में बेचना है, या मतलब
We started doing Sunday farmers markets in Bandra, then interacting with community, consumers, then figuring out how do we preserve what is growing on the farm. So like we had fresh sugarcane. How do I ensure that it lasts for 12 months? So we realized that back in the days they used to make jaggery from sugarcane. We had milk, we had cows because we wanted the cow dung for farming. The milk was a byproduct. What do we do with the milk? Daily selling milk is a big, headache. So then the best way to do is to make ghee. So it stays for a year. We had moringa. Selling fresh drumsticks was an option. Limited shelf life. If you powder the leaf, it has moringa powder which will last for 12 months. Lemons became pickles, last for 12 months. So we figured out that, stuff that didn't require a lot of investment, no cold storage, no cold chain, and that could last for 12 months.
I also want to ask you something about the organic part, because you're wearing this hat also, organic farms. ये ऑर्गेनिक वाला कीड़ा कहाँ से आया कि ऑर्गेनिक करना है? Like why not, like were your, like you mentioned, 3-4 generations of your family has been farmers. Have all the 3-4 generations been organic?
No, they haven't. The initial 2 generations were organic. My dad's generation, when he came into farming, I think in the 1950s, 1960s is when the Green Revolution came in. The government emphasized that farmers should use modified seeds for wheat and for other crops so that the yield increases, and they should use synthetic fertilizers and chemical based fertilizers like urea, potash, so that the yield increases. That time they did not know the long term effects of putting urea and chemical fertilizers in soil. After 40 years of using that, my dad's generation used that, and my dad's generation was told by government that doing farming with cow dung and cows is old age, is old fashioned. Stop with that and come up with these new techniques of farming. So he took to that. So one generation for 40-50 years did chemical based farming. It's all about kidas only in organic farming. That's worms and it's microbiology, and you later understand that these creatures, these kidas are responsible for increasing soil fertility. So that consciousness of just doing it the pure way or the holistic way hit us. We started questioning the norm that why not do farming that is sustainable in the long term? And how do you do farming that's sustainable in the long term?
See, I get the sustainable aspect of it, but I've spent now decent amount of time. I've visited farms and this and that, and I really appreciate what you're doing. But I'm still not 100% convinced, to be completely honest. Like, मेरे को ये लगता है कि ये चीज़ जो है, एक तो ये खाली 0.01% के लिए या 0.1% के लिए, it's too expensive, it's like the perfectionist mentality. And I'm not saying it's bad to be perfectionist, it's just that it's not scalable. So do you think organic farming is something for everyone, or do you think it is for the rich?
No, I think organic farming and organic food, everyone has a right to good food.
Yeah.
And today it is costlier compared to normal food.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say costly or cheap. It is the right price of good food. If you do farming the right way, this is how food should cost. When you try to make food cheap, and when public wants cheap food, then the farmer has to use techniques where his productivity keeps on increasing, because ultimately the net revenue is going to get the same. If you want it cheap and you're going to buy cheap from him, he has to increase yield. To increase yield, he has to administer chemical fertilizers and compromise on the growing techniques. So you're getting food that is contaminated with a lot of chemical, pesticide, insecticide that affects your health very badly. In the long term, you pay a higher price. Today, it might look like organic food is costly, and there are very few farmers who are doing it, because we are challenging and we are opposing a trend that's been set from the last 50 years. We are right now at that cusp where we are starting something. I believe that if this grows and if we get a premium for the produce, it will inspire many more farmers to switch to organic farming, and then the supply will increase, it matches demand, then price rationalization will happen. And there'll be a lot of money flowing.
Abhi ke liye you think it will be expensive, but in the longer run, if more and more farmers do it, it can become cheaper.
Exactly. If more and more consumers demand good food, and they understand the value that good food has, instead of spending tomorrow on pharmacy, spend it on the farm, on farm produce.
But Sri Lanka or other countries, I don't know if you know, they also, I think, were very against using chemical based farms and things like that. But it sort of backfired on them. From what I little bit I know is that the yields just dropped too much, and it just was not financially viable. So once again, I just think organic farming, न्यूजीलैंड और कोई स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्री वो सब के लिए चलता है. इंडिया के लिए जहाँ इतने लोग अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते हैं खाना, वहाँ के लिए मेरे को, आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट्स रॉन्ग, ऑल आई एम सेइंग इज इट्स फॉर अ niche audience.
No, see, I'll tell you what happened with Sri Lanka is that the government achanak se decided that we'll turn everything organic. This kind of any impulsive decision, achanak se turning non-organic or achanak se turning organic, is not, it will be detrimental in the long term. So they suddenly changed everything to organic. When you are been farming for 40-50 years in the chemical way, you have already ruined soil fertility. You have to give the soil time of 7-8 years to increase its fertility. When you stop the input, when you're not giving it time and you suddenly expect productivity to match your previous levels, it's not going to happen. That country suddenly, as a rule, they made it, no farmer will put chemical fertilizers. They didn't plan a way where step by step the farmer could convert his field to organic. So productivity fell. Coming back to India, I think India 50 years back was fully organic. Your grandfather, my grandfather ate organic food. They grew it in a sustainable way. My farms have been farming since 500 years. The productivity never fell. In the last 50 years, productivity has gone down by 50%. Now, the question of feeding the masses remains. But if you see the total land mass and what it grows, only 20% land grows real food. The 80% land grows commodities that are exchanged, like, canola and wheat and maize, and which do not form a food primarily. They form fuel or they form food for the meat industry. So I believe that when you change this pattern and you allow more farmers to grow food, and by food I mean is your lentils, legume, pulses, grains, fruits, vegetables. How many farmers are growing this? 80% farmers are growing cash crops. So when you pay them higher for growing real food, you'll find, the supply and how much our demand is there, it will match it in the long term.
Even on our own farms, when we just started with the 2 acres of organic farming, and gradually then increase that. I think with Sri Lanka, switching, or with any chemical farm, when you switch it overnight to organic, you will face a challenge in productivity out there.
Clearly something that was missing, which you picked up in terms of the labels and the ingredients behind the products. And it's so evident. These labels are everywhere. These products are everywhere across the world. It's in front of you. The ads are everywhere. Clearly somebody has not done his job. That's why you had to do to get this awareness.
Yeah.
So who do you feel has not done his job?
It's a good question. I feel like it's a full ecosystem. I think you've not you, but like the customer has not done their job, the manufacturers have not done their job, and the government has also in their own way not done their job. So it's a three I think people. So when I say the government, I feel there is not enough strict enforcement. Laws है भी अगर तो वो enforce नहीं हो रहे हैं. So that is like one challenge. So from the government side. From the manufacturer's side, I feel like the problem is that there is just too much emphasis on profitability without any sort of emphasis on people. कि वो प्रोडक्ट को पीपल में कैसे क्या फ़र्क पड़ेगा और कोई मतलब नहीं है. तो आधा % कैशू होगा, बोल देंगे कैशू बिस्किट है. तो too much emphasis on profit without any accountability. That's the problem of the people, of the manufacturers. And the third is the problem with the consumers, which is that complete lack of awareness. No, बस mindless consumption without any idea कि ये क्यों खा रहे हैं, कैसे खाना चाहिए. So I feel like there's both requires awareness, education, pushing the consumer. यार 2 बार सोचो खाने के पहले. So I think these 3 different stakeholders are all equally, not equally, but in some way responsible.
Yeah, because it's crazy. I always assume that the government is, a kind of a guardian, and it will monitor that, stuff is right and people are fed the right food. But when what you highlighted in all your videos, and you made us realize that there's so much of, bullshit literally in what constitutes that food, I'm like, then where were these, we pay tax for a government to take care of us, and where's the government? Where are some bodies that will come and take care of us? Where is consumer forums, and where is the Advertising Standard Council of India, which monitors that there is no lies being spoken in ads. I mean, where is all this gone then? So, but yeah, it's crazy that. So you have to be aware yourself.
And I think there's one more thing that I kept at it. Like, if I was one video, people would have lost interest or they would have forgotten me. It was that the second video came and the third video came and the fourth video came and the fifth video. So I think that really built it. And that is what reinforced the message a lot. And I strongly believe if you really want to create a movement, you need to reinforce the message again and again and again. एक बार बोलो कोई याद नहीं रखेगा, लेबल पड़ेगा इंडिया. आपको 10 बार बोलना होगा.
How do you keep to it now? You started it, you have a family to feed, you have a personal ambitions.
Yeah.
If you want a team, you will require finances.
Yeah.
How do you plan to keep your movement sustainable without diluting, your ethos and your philosophy?
That is the biggest worry I have at this point is how do I make money at the same time ensure that I'm being true to my values and I'm like continuing to be trusted and things like that. And I also want to make sure I make money, one, for my own personal ambition, two, I want to set an example to others as well, to my all my peers. I see like people from IIT, IIM, DU, Wharton, Harvard, yes, you can quit your job and you can do the right thing and still make money.
This rings a bell because when me and Ajinkya started this, we were very clear that organic farming करना है, पर्यावरण के लिए अच्छा है, मिट्टी के लिए अच्छा है, biodiversity के लिए अच्छा है, animals के लिए अच्छा है, किसान के लिए अच्छा है. But if I was living a certain lifestyle in the city back out there, I should, if I'm doing everything good, I should be able to earn that kind of money and live a lifestyle that is no less than somebody else. It is my choice whether to spend that money on the lifestyle or no, but I should be able to. And the idea of creating a brand and and then demanding the right price is again, like you said, to inspire many others. For us, it's to inspire many farmers that, you can do it. You can do the right kind of farming, you can earn more money than a chemical farmer, and everything can be sustainable.
No, that makes sense, and that is my belief as well, that the world will only change if people who are doing the good thing can also make money. Because then only will many more people also try to do good things.
Absolutely.
So it is very important for the people who are adding value to the world to make money.
Yeah, in a capitalist society like today, you have to make money. If you make it through the good way, you'll inspire many guys to do it.
Yeah, so that's why I have a term, not my own term, called conscious capitalism, which I also use a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like even while we are growing and we are getting quoted by many venture capitalists and PE funds to fund us because now they see a brand growing, a consumer business growing, the 10 years of building this and stuff. They didn't see it that time, but for us now, we always are trying to find partners who are conscious capitalists, who are there in it for the right reasons.
Separate segue, I want to ask you about a few things. For if I was hypothetically वो Shark Tank judge होते हैं ना कि आओ अगर आप आते, मैं आपको बोलता आप अच्छा काम कर रहे हो लेकिन मैं इन्वेस्ट नहीं करता. तो मैं बोलता कि हाँ आप बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हो लेकिन यार बिजनेस सेंस में जम रहा नहीं है मेरे को बात, क्योंकि मुझे स्केलेबल नहीं लग रहा है. एक तो क्योंकि अभी आप कर रहे हो, आई डोंट नो आपका नंबर्स क्या है, बट अब एक पर्टिकुलर स्केल पे कर रहे हो. बट अगर आपको वो सेम स्केल को 10x करना है, 20x करना है, आई फील कि आपको एट सम वे अपने सिस्टम्स को ब्रेक करना होगा. कि हाउ विल यू मेंटेन द ऑर्गेनिक स्टाइल एंड स्टिल और लाइक relatively this kind of thing and still scale. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, so
on the scalability side, I think there are two parts to it. One is the supply side, organic farming. One is the demand side. I'll take out the supply. I think India being an agriculture country and where the land holding is very small, on the supply side we don't see any constraints. There are already a lot of farmers who are doing farming organically, especially your Kharif farmers, your Rabbi farmers, which survive where the farming survives on rainfall. There a lot of it is still organic and a lot of small land holding with farmers. So on the supply side, we don't see much of a constraint. On the demand side, if you want to share.
Yeah. So rightly you identified. Every business has to have a problem. Our problem is that. One thing is for sure, which is already proven, is that people want good food to eat.
Yeah.
Farmers want sustainable agriculture to ensure that they pass on the farm to the next generation. There are these two constants. Now the variable is that how do we scale up this idealistic farm and ensure farmers who are plugging into us are following the same ethos and philosophy. All the farmers who work with us, we have a system. We have a training system. We have a division called the FRM, the Farmer Relationship Manager. We have an app. There's hardware, software. This FRM goes and enrolls a farmer. He tracks him from the seed stage to the harvest stage, visiting him every 15-20 days. The idea is not to only police and audit him. The idea is that the crop changes after every 15 days. If the farmer doesn't get the right input when he's facing a pest challenge or a nutrition challenge, then he might go the other way and administer chemicals. But if my guy is going every 15 days and giving him the right input, he continues to be on that path to growing the crop organically. After the produce, we ensure that we give him a premium of over 25% for his produce. So whatever fall in productivity is compensated by the premium. So this is a model, and it's working with over 4,000 farmers that we work with now.
I'll interject you. So again, like I'm going to take a Shark Tank judge approach. That's the first thing जो आप बोले. But what about shelf life? Like मैं अपने videos में भी बहुत बार बोला हूँ कि longer the shelf life, shorter our life. कि shelf life छोटा मतलब better होता है product. लेकिन from a business angle, यार आप बेचोगे कैसे ग्रोसरी स्टोर में? आपको ग्रोसरी स्टोर रखेगा ही नहीं अगर आपका प्रोडक्ट खराब हो रहा है जल्दी. तो आपका how will you solve those issues?
We face those issues on a constant basis, where our major complaint is that the product has caught fungus. And we are trying to tell people that if the fungus likes the product, and if there are ants which are coming to the product, that means the product is edible to eat. But yeah, how do I as a business survive? And I give a longer shelf life to my consumers and to my trade. So the products, if you see our list of products, there is ghee, there is jaggery, there is moringa powder, there is pickles. All these are traditional products. These are traditional ways of preserving that fruit or that produce for a long duration. Jaggery is a way to preserve sugarcane for years. You convert it to jaggery. When jaggery is made the right way,
So you're using natural preservatives.
we're using natural techniques. So like ghee, it's a way to preserve the nutrition of milk for a longer period. So we do not do any products
There is no
that require compulsory preservative or additives that are not proven by tradition. So all our products, most of them are this way. Now there is atta. Atta has a limited shelf life of 3 to 4 weeks. How do we ensure that we increase the shelf life? So our team figured out that instead of adding a preservative additive, which is a no-no, how do we increase shelf life? What we did is our packaging is now nitrogen packed. So nitrogen is an inert gas. It doesn't react with the product, but it doesn't allow any microorganism to grow or survive in that medium. So that allows us to take the shelf life to around 3 to 4 months for attas.
But do you think preservative, एक तो preservative और pesticide इसका फर्क क्या होता है for the public as well? Because people sometimes use it interchangeably. Preservative का मतलब क्या हुआ
So
pesticide?
pesticide is, the crop is there. When it's on the field, it gets attacked by a pest. You spray a chemical ingredient that kills the pest or that gets into the nervous system of the crop. It's called systemic pesticide. And then no pest comes and, kind of troubles the crop. The natural way to doing about pest is to make Dashaparni, Neem Astra. These are all natural ingredients which repel the pest. That is pesticide. Preservative is when the produce is out from the farm and you're making a product out of it. If I'm making jaggery out of sugarcane, if I'm making pickles out of lemons, many of them, 99% of the manufacturers add an ingredient that helps in increasing shelf life. That is a preservative that comes when you're
But is there
processing the
any
product.
problem of having any preservative as long as within the permissible limit जो भी government ने बोला है? Yeah, same with pesticide as well. Pesticide में problem क्या है? अगर कोई गवर्नमेंट ने बोला है गाइडलाइन कि ये कोई केमिकल पेस्टिसाइड है और मैं वो पेस्टिसाइड का गाइडलाइन को फॉलो कर रहा हूँ, मैं केमिकल फार्मर हूँ और मैं वो गाइडलाइन फॉलो कर रहा हूँ, तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
So that's where the line gets blurred. There is no permissible limit for your health. The government, to keep that crop sustainable and to ensure the farmer earns some income and the consumer gets food, there is a line drawn. But if I ask you, would you like food without any contaminants or would you like food with permissible contaminants? Your and my health is different. Government can't decide a norm which applies to everybody's health. So everybody subjectively is different. So the best is to have no preservative. The best is to have no pesticide. And this was the case 50, 60 years back. Why in the past 50 years period are we letting that period dictate how we eat food for the next 50 years? So no pesticide, no preservative is the ideal condition. There are challenges on how you preserve food. There are challenges on what food you can eat. You might not be able to eat, a yogurt. But it's okay if it's not on a shelf. As long as the food you're eating is without any preservative, without any additive, without any binder, without any filler.
I think there are three stages to it. One is the awareness that you're doing, not using preservatives, additives, or sugars, palm oil while processing the food. But a second deeper layer to that is how the food is grown. So on the farm, while growing those cashews, while growing the sugarcane, whatever it is, not using chemicals to even grow it on the soil. And what is even more basic to that is then the seed variety that you're going to be using. So again, you could be growing something organically, but if it's a modified variety of that seed, like wheat, it will still have some amount of gluten in it. It will still spike your insulin. So I think it's going down that chain and working right from that seed level, then the organic farming, and then growing that food or processing it without any additives, preservatives, fillers, binders. And then the packaging where you're also avoiding plastic.
I think the consumer should be given a choice whether he wants any preservative and pesticides or doesn't want. Why is the government putting a norm? Brand should say, okay, I'm with 5% permissible limit, and brand should say I'm with 0% permissible limit. Let the consumer decide. Like I said, everyone's health is different.
And the third question which I have is, like, I have seen your array of products, and to be completely honest, it seems like y'all have entered way too many प्रोडक्ट्स लाइक मैं तो वो लीफलेट को वो करते गया और वो मेन्यू होता है ना, वो मेन्यू में वो आते गया तो एक तरफ आप आटा कर रहे हो, फिर आप शायद से राइस कर रहे हो, घी कर रहे हैं, जैगरी, हनी. हाउ डू यू, like if I was someone whose entire image is on quality, I would try to limit the number of products I sell so that I can make sure कि मैं 5 ही प्रोडक्ट कर रहा हूँ पर उसका क्वालिटी अच्छा हो. बट जो अब मैं आप लोग का देखा हूँ कि आप लोग 50 प्रोडक्ट कर रहे हो, मेरे को पता नहीं कितना, उससे भी ज़्यादा हो सकता है. How do you get the farm space for like 50 different products? How do you ensure quality for such a wide thing? Because for me, it just seems like a recipe for disaster from a quality perspective to get into so many different categories.
No, you're right. The biggest advice we have got is that, be narrow and deep, don't be wide and shallow. This is from a business perspective. Guys who advise on business scaling up tell us that focus on 1 or 2 products, make a brand for those 2 products, and you'll have volumes of business for it. But when I am as a farmer working with many farmers, there are variety of farmers from variety of geographies. The soil conditions are different. They can't grow that same crop. Most of our products that we make and get on the shelf are inspired by what farmers grow. So when we worked with a saffron farmer in Kashmir, he can't grow wheat. He will go saffron. But his growing techniques are pure. His growing techniques are organic and sustainable. If I don't help him, give him a platform to sell his produce, I am doing injustice to him. If I don't work with a Lakadong turmeric farmer.
So is that like a contract farmer sort of a situation where you, like he is making for you and then you make it like...
Yeah. So it's not a contract, but it's like I told you, we have a team, the FRM, the farmer relationship manager. He works with those farmers from seed stage to harvest stage. Now, we don't advise farmers to grow commodities that are growing well in Maharashtra. If he's a northeastern farmer, we'll tell him, look at what your grandfather grew. If it was a variety of turmeric that's called Lakadong, you grow that. I will make that platform and I will educate my customer why he should buy that turmeric.
And every single thing sold in Two Brothers Organic is organic? I mean, it's just
every single thing sold in Two Brothers is chemical free. I think 40% is certified organic. The other person is in certification. But it's chemical free.
And how strict is certification? Like, is it like, the public opinion is कि अरे पैसा दो certification मिल सकता है या वैसा type का? Is it easy to get certified organic? Is it a very detailed process?
So process wise,
it is a tough process.
It is a 3 years process, and they certify your soil. So first year you get a in-process certification, and then it takes you
Scope 1.
Scope 1, then in-process, and then the final certification. So I think at the end of the 3rd year or the 4th year is when you can claim to be certified organic?
It's a laborious process. You require record keeping. You require to keep a farm diary of the entire year. The inspector comes once a year for audit. He will inspect everything. If he finds a sense of suspicion somewhere, he'll take soil sample, leaf sample, fruit sample. He'll give it for testing. If any chemical ingredient or any pesticide is found, he might cancel your certificate. So it is a tough process.
So you all have been working with so many various farmers. Have you faced any issue like ऑर्गेनिक था लेकिन कोई आदमी आके बोल दिया ऑर्गेनिक नहीं है या वैसा टाइप का?
We have faced issues mainly because there were bottles found in the farm that were of some pesticide or something. And what farmers do is like, there was a unique case where the inspector came and the workers in the field were having lunch. And one of them had a water bottle and it was a pesticide bottle. So farmers reuse everything. Even the sacks, they use it as pillow covers. So that farmer has been using a bottle of pesticide which he washed and using as a water bottle since a year.
Wow,
But
I would not do that.
He had got it in his farm. When the inspector came, he said, that bottle has pesticide. So it is difficult to convince him that no, the farmer is reusing that bottle as a water bottle and not as a pesticide bottle. The pillow covers were of, the bags that...
India is the OG of recycling.
Yeah.
कुछ भी वापस reuse हो जाएगा.
So we have faced... Now we from a farming background, we understand. But for an inspector who comes from a different background, to convince him is very difficult. So then he marks an LC, he marks a remark. And then we have to negate it, and then we have to keep a watch, then he will re-inspect it. So all those things keep happening. And it's very difficult. It's an open expanse. A crow gets some packet and drops it in your farm, and it's flying away. But what we rely on, what we pass the confidence to a customer more is that, rely on the brand more. As a brand, we are ensuring we are in touch with the farmer twice a month. That's 24 times a year. Certification guy comes once a year. So...
And I've also got it. So you have to have strict policies to make sure your quality control is high, basically.
Yeah, so we have around 8 scientists and we have 2 laboratories, which you'll see in the factory now, in the mega kitchen now. And we have tie-ups with the best laboratories in the world. So our quality focus is very, very high because the consumer is trusting the brand for this, for his produce.
Got it. I've noticed one interesting thing from talking to you guys. Like on one end, you all are farmers, and in the head you imagine a farmer is very traditional, but you all are also, I think, modern. Like you were talking about QR code and labs and scientists and things like that. So I think it's an interesting bridge that you all are between traditional farmer and modern and trying to blend it, but still not going the chemical route.
Yeah, I think our this diverse city of our upbringing, being from a farmer's family, being educated in a city, worked with Citibank, HSBC, being a consumer of all grocery products in a city, and also intermittently spending our time in the village. I think this has, somebody would have cursed this background, but this has worked to our benefit. We understand this language, we live this life, we understand this language, we live this life. Being in multinational banks, we have understood the emphasis on quality, audits, certifications, branding, marketing, team building, talent acquisition, technology, websites, apps. And being from a farmer's family, we have understood, cow dung, Dashaparni, Panchagavya, the calf, all the customs around it, the cow, the caretaker, his background. So this is a very interesting mix and it's very unique. And that's why I think what the brand we have created also is pretty unique because it speaks from a farmer's soul, but it speaks the language of a conventional customer who's across the world.
Two diverse backgrounds, Bharat and India.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. One more thing I recently noticed that on your website, it seemed like y'all, I think on social media as well, I saw that you guys are also exporting food to the US. And I'm not sure from shelf life, how does it make, kitna time lagta hai to shipping mein from here to US, and wo product kharab nahi hota, and why the US?
So it was not a conscious decision. I remember 5 years back, there was a guy called Siddhar Shukla from Michigan who called us. And he said, I've seen your videos on YouTube and stuff, on Facebook, and I feel the way you're making ghee is the right way, by milk from A2 cows and then curd and then white butter and then ghee. And he said, I come from a family in North India which has been eating ghee and all that, but US में मुझे मिल नहीं रहा है. So he said, send me some ghee. And we're like, bro, how do you do it? What is this export and how do you go about it? We thought he's excited and he's telling us feedback. I said, okay, we'll send it. We didn't happen to do anything. After a month, again he called us. He said, I'm waiting, guys. I really need the ghee. It's very intrinsic to my upbringing and, from where I am and stuff. So then we started working and started inquiring, how do we send ghee to the US? We figured out it needs 7 licenses. Export, import license, MSDS, dangerous goods, stuff and stuff. We got all those licenses in place. And then we happened to speak to DHL to send the stuff to him. And they delivered within 4 days. And suddenly it opened up eyes that, if I can send to a Siddharth Shukla in Michigan in 4 days, I can just open up my website for orders from outside. And we were not very positive or we don't know how this will shape up. We just on our website put a banner that we are shipping to US. No ad expenses in US, nothing. Word of mouth, our customers in India, they had their son or somebody staying in the US or some relative, they told them to buy and, things started happening and last when we checked, we had got orders from some 56 countries.
What?
Customers in 55 countries. Yeah. And word of mouth. And then last September, after having serviced a customer in the US for 4 to 5 years, we said that let's go and see who this customer is. And then we paid a trip to the US in
So
September.
did you meet the Siddharth Shukla?
Yeah, to meet the Siddharth Shukla.
So you met him?
We didn't meet him because he had shifted from Michigan by the time. But we met all our initial customers and we did a 40-day tour across some, I think, 18 cities. That gave us a lot of validation on what we're trying to build and, on what we are doing.
Amazing.
Pandemics like COVID has got the focus back on quality of food. Medicines are not giving you any remarkable difference in your lifestyle, but diet and food quality is giving you that required change. So I think such pandemics, such, whatever illnesses, chronic illnesses and diseases are getting focused back to good food. So it will increase. But for it to become mainstream and for majority of people and majority of farmers to do farming, it's a 50, 60-year-old industry you're fighting with. Entire infrastructure is built around a farmer to do farming in the chemical way and a consumer to have food that has a lot of preservative and additives. The food chain, the storage chain, the selling chain, everything is designed in such a way. It will take a 30, 40 years of this to disrupt completely and, come back to clean food and clean food eating.
No, I think it will require a whole team of us. Many more people. I think the 3 of us and many more people we need to join in.
Many more brothers.
Yeah. Brothers and sisters and everyone else. Thank you so much for having me. I loved my visit here. Really enjoyed what you've built. I'm still slightly skeptical on the price front. I'm not sure how many people can truly afford high quality food in India so far, but really enjoyed my time here.
Hey, awesome. Great to have you. Food farmer at the farm. Awesome.